and welcome back to BookTube with Amy. So today I'm going to be doing the second-hand book tag, and I was tagged in this by the lovely Sarah over at Sadie Reads Again. She tagged me because she knows I am also a second-hand book kind of gal, so here we go. I do buy second-hand books. Most of the books that Simon and I own, I feel like I've said this 1,000 times, I should probably just get it on a t-shirt, are second-hand books. We are avid charity shop raiders. Like, it is near enough impossible for us to be going somewhere and pass by a charity shop and no pop in to see what their books are like. We go away on holiday to Oban or there and thereabouts, like near enough every single year, and on our last day it's like a tradition before we go and get the train, we'll have our breakfast and then we'll have like a route about the charity shops in Oban before we go home. So we always end up coming back with more books than we left with. We will frequently just plan wee days to go charity shop book shopping together. It's like one of our favourite things. My latest purchase I actually purchased through a Facebook buy and swap group, and that was the Twilight graphic novel Volume 1 by Stephanie Meyer. I have never read this. I knew that these existed when I was a teenager and I was big into my Twilight phase, but it was never something that I actually decided to pick up. But I've got all the Twilights. I bought Midnight Sun because I am planning to reread them in the near future as like a wee throwback to my teenage years, and I saw somebody was selling this quite cheap, so I thought, why not get it? There's a second volume, so I think Twilight split into two, and then I think they did New Moon, and I don't know if they did any more, but I would like to get my hands on the other ones as well, so that I have got like the complete Twilight collection because I'm a fangirl. I think this varies book to book with me, to be honest, and I think it will depend on the type of book as well. Like if it's a paperback, I really am the fussed if it is tatty. There is something that I think is just quite charming about like a paperback book that has been so loved that like the spine's all broken and like you can just tell like on a shelf of books that that book has been the most read. I just find that dead interesting, and I like when you go to other bookish people's homes and you see their bookshelves and like you can almost tell like the books that have been well loved. So I really don't mind that. I actually find it kinda endearing, even though they are like inanimate objects, but still. But if it's a hardback, then I'm a wee bit fussier. I don't like if like there's no a dust jacket. I would never buy like a naked hardback unless that was the design. I just don't really like that. I think that I'm fine with the dust jacket being a wee bit tatty, but if it's properly like ripped down the front or something like that, then that's going to annoy me. Like this Twilight one, like the dust jacket's a wee bit tatty, it's a wee bit ripped down the side of the spine, but like that's fine. When it's sitting on the shelf, you're not going to know, like, and like I'd obviously be careful with this. I could probably tape that up if I wanted to, that's absolutely fine. But if it was like ripped across the front and I wasn't having like the artwork or anything like that, then that would probably bug me a wee bit. But I think I take into account like the price and the edition of the book anyway. So like if it was maybe a brand new release but like there's quite a shoddy copy in the charity shop, but it would still be quite expensive to buy new, like I'd still take a shoddy copy. Whereas if it's something that I think actually that's been quite popular, quite mainstream, like I will find that in another charity shop probably at some point in better condition, then I maybe wouldn't purchase it and just hold out to get it elsewhere. The thing with me is I quite like niche books sometimes, and so it can be difficult to get them second hand. So if it's something that I don't think I'm going to get the opportunity to pick up again, then I'll just take it even if it isn't in the best condition. I keep most of the books that I read, to be honest. If I've read it and enjoyed it, it will be on my shelf because I want to have it there so that I can reread it if I want to, so that I can talk to you guys about it, so that I can like recommend it to people, maybe loan it out to friends or family. I only really donate books back if they're books that I haven't enjoyed, or like I maybe have enjoyed them but I'm never going to gravitate towards that again. Like I'm never going to reread it and it's not something that I would actively recommend to people. But aye, if it is something that I haven't enjoyed, then I'll do an unhaul, I'll get rid of it. I've still, in fairness, got a big box of books that I need to unhaul sitting here that I need to take to the charity shop, and I keep just popping ones in that I've been reading recently that haven't been for me, but I will donate them, or I'll often say, like, on the channel, if anybody wants this book, like, let me know and I'll get it sent to you. However, I'm terrible at posting them, so you will get it about 6 months later, but I'm still happy to offer it to anybody who would enjoy it. Aye, there's a few places, so me and Simon will typically go to Paisley if we're second-hand book shopping. That's where our like favourite second-hand bookshop is. It's called Abbey Books and it is brilliant. There is just like such a mix of everything. Recently though, the past couple of times we haven't been as successful. I don't know if just we being in lockdown and, you know, not been able to get like fresh supply. The last few times we went there, there's nothing really that's been jumping out at us that's been like, oh, like we need that for sure. It tends to have been like the same sort of stuff that's there, so I don't know if people just still aren't like out and about and donating books and stuff in the same way. Because Abbey Books like buy their books for people, so I just don't know if people haven't been having clear outs. But it's been a wee bit stale the last few times, but that's still my favourite go-to place. And then there's a charity shop, and I don't remember the name yet, but I think it's the Accord actually, which is a hospice in Paisley, and they have a charity shop, and there's like just a wall near enough of bookcases, so there's quite a big selection, but there is always a really good horror, fantasy and YA selection in that specific shop. Simon never really does well there, but I usually come out with like a huge stack of books. It's where in the past I've got like all the Maggie Stiefvater books that I've picked up. They've all been for that one. I actually managed to get a couple of the later Suki books that I needed to get for that one. Just quite a fair few. I'm a wee bit of a weirdo, right? I know that's a shock to everybody, but it depends on the series and like the genre of book, I think, for me. So if it's a contemporary or like a romance, then I much prefer that to be a paperback for some reason. If it is fantasy, then I typically tend to prefer hardbacks. Unless it is like, well, YA fantasy I like hardbacks. If it is like epic fantasy I prefer paperbacks. And then like if it's horror, again, like I think I much prefer a paperback horror to a hardback horror, and I don't know why. But I think as well it'll depend on the other editions of that book. So like I just recently got the Diviner series by Libba Bray, and I have another book by Libba Bray in hardback, so you'd think I'd want the Diviners in hardback, but I couldn't find like a set of the Diviners that matched, that were nice enough, that would make me want to spend money on them, and no like spending £300 on the nice fairy loot editions that they did. So I got that set in paperback. Like I don't know, I don't know if like there's a theme or like a system in my brain. It just does what it wants and wants what it likes, so that's how I go with it. One of the best finds that I've ever had, and this wasn't for a charity shop, but it was through one of the second-hand Facebook book groups that I am part of. I love the Cassandra Clare books. I've read all of the Mortal Instruments and just thoroughly enjoyed them. Me and my granny read them all together when I was in high school. They were so good. And so I've got the Mortal Instruments, and I've got the Infernal Devices, and like the... Well, I'll show you the editions. I'll put a picture in the editions that I have. And so I was looking to get the Dark Artifices in the same editions because I know that they released them, but they are like stupidly hard to get in the UK, and loads of people like will take a punt and buy ones on Amazon that they think might be them, and then it turns out not to be. And I was like, my heart just can't handle that level of disappointment, so like I am not taking a chance. So I managed to find these through one of the Facebook groups, and I got them for an absolute steal, and they're in pretty decent condition. Like the spines aren't broken on them, the pages are in good nick considering they're second hand, so I was like absolutely buzzing. And these are like, have a wee pride of place on my shelf. I just need to now wait till they release like the Chain of Iron and Chain of Gold in these editions to like properly complete my set. but I was so excited when I found these and was stupidly excited when they arrived. Well, I sort of said this earlier, but I have a box of books there that I need to get donated, so they will all go to a charity shop at some point. Probably the next time we go we will take a bag to donate, but aye, so I will donate all the ones that are currently in my unhaul box. I do not know who has done this and who hasn't done this, so I'm going to tag Scott for Gunpowder Fiction and Plot, I'm going to tag Nell from Book Hunt, and I'm going to tag Liv from Endless Pages. Thank you very much for watching. Hopefully you're enjoying everything that you're reading at the moment. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye!